come to the right hand side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn off in this little exit here. So when you wait to get a little bit closer, right, slow down. Left foot, left foot, left foot, push, push. Ready with your right foot, push, right foot to the floor. There you go. Right foot to push, push, push. Right foot to the floor, push. There you go, see? Round we come. And we'll keep straight down this little taxiway. Now again, if you look out to that little gap in the trees, you see it's right ahead of you. It's not on the nose, is it? It's on that little dip and cowling. Right foot, bit of right foot. There we go. See, it slightly slopes off, so there's a tendency to fall off a little bit to the left. Then left foot to straighten up. Left foot, left foot. That's it. Left foot, left foot. That's it. Just try and keep us nice in the middle. I know, 4 miles an hour, and it's quite exciting, isn't it? Right foot. There you go. See, just little dabs with the rudder, rudder pedals, keeping it nice and straight. And breathe, of course. So there's plenty of time for, you know, as I say, every time we fly now, there's going to be some taxiing, so you're going to have plenty of practice, so don't worry about it. But that was pretty good. Down the end, left foot, we'll just keep it straight, and then, I'm going to say a little moment, right foot to the floor, right foot to the floor, push, 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 both feet straight, and brakes, fingers, brakes, brakes, squeeze the handle in, lock the brakes. Nice. Okay, so we'll give it some revs to warm up the engine, and controls should be full and free, so all the way around the box, nothing clicking, nothing sticking, so yeah, all happy, all free movement, no juddering or funny movements, good. H, hatches, harnesses, headsets, so doors are secure, nothing loose under our feet, harnesses nice and tight around the hips, not too tight on the shoulders, we can reach everything. Headsets, you got me nice in both ears? Yeah. Fantastic. Cool. Instruments left to right. 0, 0, 0. Can you read the pressure for me? 992?
0, I think.
What have we got there?
Oh, yeah. 992.
992. So that's 1012. So fairly standard pressure. You see, they're still a bit cold. The oil pressure's good, but these are still a bit cold. So we're just getting the temperature up a bit. Fuel, bags of fuel. We've got nearly 50 litres. Our fuel pump can go on. Our choke is now all the way in because we gave it choke to start the engine. And the fuel tap is open down here by your leg. Should be facing forward, horizontal. Flaps, first stage, second stage come down equally, all the way up. First stage set for takeoff. Trim. So here's our finger on the back button. That's lifting the nose, and I can actually feel the stick getting lighter. And all the trim buttons going right to the tippy top. Finger on the front button, nose going down. That's making us fly faster. And we'll set it pretty well bang in the middle for takeoff. Okay. The wind, well, there's very little of it, but what there is a gentle southerly. And we're all clear in front and we're all clear behind for our power checks. So, nothing behind us, no dog walkers. You can imagine if we give it full power, we could put a spaniel in the fence. His little ears flapping. It is actually as funny as it sounds. Oh, bless. We haven't launched a spaniel for weeks, don't worry. Okay. So as I drop mag 1, this is a small drop, but it's less than 175. Again, similar little drop in a rumble, but all good. Carb heat. Oh, slipping on the brakes a bit there. Okay, 10 seconds. It's just sliding on the frost. Tobogganing. Back. Transponder's active, and we're good to go. JHP traffic, Golf Papa Hotel. So look at the line of hills opposite. I think we're still slightly to the right, tiny bit left. That looks better. Now it looks like we're going towards our feature. So there's a little Iron Age hill fort down here. You see it on the hill?
Yeah.
Now, it's tempting to push the nose down a bit to see, isn't it? We just have to ignore that now and look out to that far line of hills and try and line up on that. But I do have some good news for you. If I have control, so just as we cross the hill here, what's directly below us on your side?
Oh, the trees.
Up the trees, get in there, well done.
Branch Hills traffic, Golf X-ray Romeo, request radio check Branch Hills
So we
traffic.
go a little bit higher. See the mist on the lying on the ground there? That's kind of cute, isn't it? We're flying on top of the mist layer. So that's all over Salisbury Plain.
Yeah.
So as we get a little bit higher, hopefully we can see a little bit further. So here we are out, this is Woodborough Hill and Picket Hill, these funny little hills in the middle of the valley here. And what we're going to turn towards is back up the valley, back towards Devizes. So now we're at where we were at 1,700 feet, we're now at 2,500. And you might be able to just see a little bit further and get easier to pick a reference point. So can you see the town on the nose there now?
Yeah.
And there's a whole line of little villages and things on the way, isn't there?
Yeah.
So that should be a little bit easier to keep on track. So you have control.
Okay.
And once again, straight towards Devizes, please. Now there wasn't very much wind today. But what we said was, oh, see our white horse on the hill there?
Oh, yeah.
So, oh yeah, it's interesting. Looking out the right-hand window, and if we look at, you can say, there we are, look out there. It's very tempting suddenly to start looking at nothing but Devizes, isn't it? Yeah, we said that might happen. Now, there's not much wind today, but what there is, we said, was a gentle southerly. So which way's south?
Over there.
Right. So what's the wind doing, if anything?
Blowing us that way.
You can feel it, can't you, almost? Can you feel that? There's not much, but you keep doing can you see you keep doing a bit of left and then straightening up, and it all looks good, and a little bit later you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again, and what have you. So what I can suggest is, aim slightly just to the left-hand edge of town. About there, straighten up. And just try and point to those houses that more on the sort of that southern edge of town. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? So it's not by much, but you can see suddenly before our workload has just dropped right back down again, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas before there was a lot of fiddling and you think, oh, is it me? Is it? No, there wasn't much wind, but even that was just enough to notice. And now you can feel, although the nose is slightly left of town, we're actually heading towards town quite nicely. Okay, now, here's a thought. When I gave you control of the aircraft, what altitude were we at? 2,500 feet.
Yeah.
What have we got now? 6.
Why does it say?
So that's 2,000, the little hand's thousands of feet, so that's halfway between the 2 and the 3, and that's 2,000.
2,600.
So if anything, we've gained 100 foot. So why might we have gained a little bit of height and lost a little bit of speed? Because you're holding the nose. Relax your fingers. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that. Cool. See, you don't have to hold the plane in the air. Point to the bottom edge of town, straighten it up, right stick, right foot, and let it fly. And then look, your speed and height sort themselves out. But now, if anything, we're 100 foot too high. So we might need to gently descend back down to 2,500 feet. How can we do that?
Decrease power slightly.
Well, it's between your legs. Tiny bit, just that first little movement in the needle. You might hear the nose. That's it, plenty. So you hear the note dropped by about a semitone. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
You know, do, just a semitone. And what's interesting is, let's see what that does. And you can just see it's just gradually coming back down. You know, so there's no point coming screaming down, is there? Just nice and gently does it. Granny's ears aren't popping, you know, the engine's not cooling down, it's just nice and gently. We're not holding the plane in the air, which would stop it descending. Yep. And we're heading back towards Devizes. How do we know it's Devizes? Well, it's got the marina with the canal. It's got a white horse on the hill. See over there? And it's the only white horse in Wiltshire that faces right. Now here's interesting. We've got orographic cloud, where that southerly wind is just hitting that slight upridge. You can see it's forming a little layer of little clouds just on the ridge.
Yeah.
And that's orographic cloud. It's quite exciting. Can you see we're now gently coming back down to the... We don't want to go any lower, so what are you going to do?
Increase.
Put a squeeze just enough to make the engine pick up a semitone. There you go. And attitude, and look at that. Ta-da! Okay, so we've got the next little town along is Melksham, and it's a sort of buy one get one free. To the north, on the right hand side, is all the sort of residential red roofs and housing, and then to the south is more silvery industrial buildings. You see that?
Yeah.
And then between the two there's a bit of a sort of waspy waste, and there's a green little strip in the middle. So let's go for the green strip in the middle of Melksham. Now, here's a thought. We've been flying for about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes or so. Anything we should be doing? Every 15?
A check.
A Frida check, absolutely. So, if I have control for a second, I'm going to put some carb heat on. Can you check the fuel for me? We took off with about 46 litres. How much have we got? It's kind of hard to see when it's that full, but you see right up the top of the tank?
Yeah.
45, 44 litres, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, our fuel pump is off. Radio, we're listening to safety comm. I guess we could put on something like Boscombe, 1267 or Bryce. I've got Bryce here. So let's switch to Bryce, and we'll squawk the Bryce listening squawk. Okay, engine, temperatures and pressures are good. Which way are we going? North, east, south or west, roughly?
Don't know.
Well, which way's the sun? Over there.
Yeah.
Where does the sun rise?
The east?
Yeah, of course in the winter it's more in the southeast, and it's started to rise up towards the middle of the day in the middle of the south, and it'll set in the west-southwest. So at the moment, the sun is pretty well southerly. So if we've got the sun on that side, southerly, we must be going northeast, south,
Yeah.
west. We're going west, and yeah, give or take, west, southwesterly, but okay. At altitude, look at that, spot on. We're maintaining 2,500. It's only gone and worked. And how are we doing for straight? Still doing that, so great. Carb heat can go off, and you have control.
Broken readable V2. Go for Oscar Alpha, Alpha, Bravo.
So we've got Calne over there, Chippenham over there, Melksham straight ahead. Another time we'll go to Corsham, and there's a nice little airfield there with a...
Rogers code 3701, what type of service required?
With a nice coffee shop, so you can buy me a coffee and a cake. Now, what's happened now? What's happening to the aircraft? Can you feel?
Going down.
It's got a descending trend, hasn't it? So what do we need to do?
Increase power.
Yeah, increase power? Go on then. Is that enough?
Bryce,
Just about. But we'd like to be back at 2.5, please. So what do you want to do about that?
Now 2005-1007.
Yeah.
Heading towards your zone, I'm hoping to be over Bybury, which is the top northwest of your zone, but I have no intention to enter.
Add a bit more. See, are we climbing there? So it's got to be enough. We'll see. Add a bit, see what happens. You go, are we actually climbing? Oh, now we are. You can see the needle's gone positive, and yeah. So sometimes you add a bit and go, enough to stop us sinking, but not really enough to get us climbing again. See, now we're gradually coming back up to the 5. So how are we doing for that little green gap between in the middle? Yeah, that. So we need to go. Yeah, and all this excitement. Okay, so there might be a helicopter down there on your left-hand side. There may not be. Keep your heading. There you go. And again, there might be a helicopter out on this side. It's always worth a look, isn't it? If you're not looking. So. Back up to 2.5. What do we need to do now?
Decrease.
To maintain. Lovely. Well done. I have control. So we'll turn now out towards Chippenham. And calm.
Bryce Radar, good morning. It's Golf Bravo India Zulu Oscar level 3,500.
Bravo India Zulu Oscar Bryce radar. Morning identified.
Traffic service, please. Golf Zulu Oscar.
Traffic service price, 1009.
Traffic service 1009, Golf Zulu Oscar. Bryce, Alpha Foxtrot request.
Have we got 1020?
Take a right hand turn.
Oh, 1010, yeah? Let's say 1009, excuse us.
Your zone.
Okay.
Roger, that's approved.
Roger, many thanks. No,
okay, so we'll... Now, we were talking about flying at different airspeeds. So now, let's try 60 knots. What I'm going to do is, once again, slightly reduce the power again, just by the sort of the width of the needle.
Yeah.
I'm going to lift the nose from where I had 4 fingers to just about 1 finger of grass, about there, and hold the plane up there. And the aircraft will slow down to 60. Now, of course, as we slow down, it actually generates less lift. And see how the plane actually just sorts itself out at 60. So although, yes, we popped up 30 feet, it actually does actually level out. Now, however, if I let go, it wants to drop back down to where it was. So I put my finger on the back button and I start trimming. I bring it up 1, nope, still wants to 2, and I can let go. Now it's trimmed for 60. Okay, let's go fly at 70. So what do? I increase the power by the width of the needle. I'm going to push the nose down, 4 fingers.
Obviously the helipad and police have been in and out, but not seen anything normal flight.
Roger, thank you,
okay. Let the aircraft accelerate to 70. But now you can actually feel I'm having to apply a forward pressure on the stick to keep the nose down.
Yeah.
Feel what happens as I trim forward. That pressure gets less and... nothing. You feel that? Suddenly it's nothing. And there's the aircraft sorting itself out for 70 knots. So once again I've got the power set for 70. The attitude, 4 fingers of grass set for 70. The trim,
Golf Alpha.
in the middle, set for 70. What's the plane giving us?
Roger.
Straight level, 70 knots.
Heading on to the northerly heading.
Okay. So, your turn. You have control. Let's reduce the power, so hand on the throttle. So yeah, when you have control, make sure you've got all the controls. No offence. Okay, so now, let's reduce the power by about the width of a needle. So throttle back, bit more, bit more. There, good. Attitude, bring your nose up from 4 fingers to 1 finger. Up a bit, hold that, and let the aircraft slow down to 60. Nice. Then you can keep the pressure on your fingers and trim with your thumb. So 60, that's about there, isn't it? Okay, so now use your thumb on the back button, trim, trim, and the point where you go, do you know, I could kind of let go with my fingers, no, so maybe a tiny bit more trim, trim, until you feel, oh, now I can, actually, yeah, I think you got it. By Jove, I think she has it. And there it is. See, our attitude trim, and look at it, just flying at 60. I mean, you still have control, by the way, but can you see how little flying the plane actually needs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like flying. There we are. So that's a pig farm down there. There we are. Never panic a pig. Pigs tend to, if you fly low over a pig farm, they scatter and run every direction, they run into the fences and everything, so yeah, good rule in life, never panic a pig. Okay, now we need to get this thing back up to 70 knots, don't we?
Yeah.
So, power, increase the power by the width of a needle. Attitude, drop the nose down, 4 fingers, hold it. Let the aircraft accelerate. Now what you're feeling is having to hold the stick forward with a sort of heel of your hand, aren't you?
Yeah.
But then it's easy to put your finger on the front button. You feel that's about neutral.
Yeah.
And ta-da! We've set the power for 70, the attitude for 70, the trim for 70. There it is, 70 knots. Okay. Let's prove it wasn't a fluke. 60 knots, please, Eloise. So, power. Reduce the power by the width of a needle. Let's hear the noise. I haven't heard it drop yet. Let's hear the noise of the engine soften. You hear that?
Yeah.
There you go. Good. 1 finger of grass. Hold it. Let the aircraft slow down and stabilise. Good. Trim with your thumb on the back button until you feel you can let go. About there. Lovely. Just let it relax and find the point where you go. Is that nose still dropping a bit? Maybe a tiny bit more trim, thumb. So don't want it too high, but maybe trim it up a little bit more. There you go. Now relax. See how that's better. See how that's holding, isn't it? That's better.
Yeah.
Right. So we think we set the power for 60, the attitude for 60, and the trim for 60. Not bad. You'll take that? Okay. So, 70 knots, please. We'll set the power.
Let's see.
Increase the power width. There we are. Lovely. Lower your nose. 4 fingers, nose down a bit, hold it. Let the aircraft accelerate. You feel that?
Yeah.
Having to hold the nose down, aren't we now? So start to trim forward. Oh, there's some paragliders pulling out on the hill there to go flying. You see that? Ooh, have that right? How's that feel?
Yeah.
Okay. So just let it stabilise. So we've got the power set for 70. What happens if you let go of the nose? Does it want to maybe trim it a little bit? Maybe you want the nose to come up a little bit, yeah?
Yeah.
So maybe trim at the back button with your thumb a tiny bit. There you go. How does that feel? Better?
A bit.
Okay, so if you just relax, see what the plane wants to do.
Foxtrot 10, traffic. 12 o'clock for 3 miles, maneuvering no hiding condition, possible radar jump.
See how it is, if you try and hold it in the air, not let it find it, it's sort of, there we go. So we think we've set the power for 70, the attitude for 70, I think that looks a bit low, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe bring the nose up a bit and trim it back one position with your thumb. Trim it up one with the thumb, there we go, into the middle. Is that the middle notch?
Right, go up, Foxtrot now over
thumbs up, all the time.
feet, switching to Campbell.
There you go.
48.43.
Now let's see how it feels about holding four fingers.
Welcome, security, have a good day.
That's a bit better, isn't it?
Bye-bye.
So power set for 70, attitude for 70, trim set for 70, 70 knots. Well done. Cool. All clear under your wing? It's all clear under my wing. So you have control. You can turn us to the left then, back towards the airfield. That'll do. Nice and steady. Round we come. And you see, just keeping the nose at the same height. Don't lift it. Don't drop the nose. Just keep it same height all the way around the turn. That's lovely. Keep turning left. So we've got the Westwoods here. That's Marlborough. Swindon over there. So yeah.
Capital information.
Sorry about that.
Golf Alpha leaving to go to space service.
Keep coming round to the left. We're going to knock off 530 feet. Keep turning left. Lovely, straighten us up. Nice. Okay.
I missed the traffic, Golf Charlie departed the circuit out towards the behind.
Can you see Silbury Hill? It's the sort of funny artificial hill on the side of the A4. So here's the A4 coming along out towards Avebury, and then right on the nose is like a upturned pudding, maybe just...
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then if we look ahead across, you might be able to see our obelisk on the top of the hill.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go straight for the obelisk then. So where yesterday, on the north side of the hedges, the shadow was always there, see how the frost never melted from yesterday? Now we want to start descending down to 1,000 feet.
Out to the west,
so,
southwest, low cloud and fog, but out to the east and north, all clear.
Okay, so we've got about 800 foot to lose, and we've got about 2 minutes to do that in. So don't hold the plane in the air, because nothing good comes of that. We want to start gently descending. So how can we do that?
Decrease power.
Go on then. So slightly decrease the power. Slightly decrease the power. Good. Let the nose relax to maintain 70. And if we've got it right, we should be coming down about 400 foot per minute. So that'd be 500 foot per minute.
Yeah.
And let's see how we're doing. That says about 300 foot per minute. So it suggests we could probably reduce the power a little bit more. Good. Lower the nose to maintain 70. So it's power and attitude to get the performance we want. And so the performance we want is a 400 foot per minute descent. Getting there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, what happens if you let go? What's the nose want to do? It's fine, it doesn't need any trim, does it?
No.
What about our descent rate? We could possibly reduce the power a smidgette, couldn't we? Just a smidge. There. Let's see what... So that's it, we just reduced the power ever so slightly. 70 knots, let's see what that gives us. In terms of a synchro... There we are, spot on. Nice. There's these funny little orographic clouds that we were talking about. But sometimes they form on this ridge, just where you want to fly to land, and they're forming. Okay. Don't hold the plane in the air. Keep the nose gently down to maintain 70. See, we want to be descending down, down, down to 1,000 foot. So make sure we're back on safety com 135. I'll see with the sun on it. 135480. So.
HB traffic, Golf Papa Hotel, inbound from the east, 2 miles, wind 28 Yatesbury.
So we'll come out a little bit to give ourselves room to turn. So if you can head towards those two radio on top of the hill there. Got them? That's lovely. That'll do. That'll do. Ah, 1,000 foot. No lower for the minute. So how can we stop ourselves descending?
Increase power.
Go for it. About 3,700 revs seems to be working.
Traffic, Golf,
37.
Rejoining
A bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more. Lovely.
Mr. Traffic, Golf Lima Alpha Papa Lima, downwind for runway 34.
There we go. Now we'll turn back towards the mast. See, we've got a few of these little baby clouds trying to form here, aren't they?
Yeah. Left
stick, left foot to straighten up. Nice. Don't push the nose down. There you go. Now we're going to start descending again. Slightly reduce your power. Back to about 3,200 revs. Throttle back. Nice. There's about 3.2. Good. And we'll turn gently to the right. Right stick, right foot. Nose down, 70 knots. Don't worry about the ground coming up to meet us. We are landing. Keep turning right. Right stick, right foot. Keep turning. That'll. Brilliant.
Golf Papa Hotel, downwind 28 Yatesbury.
So we'll go for that clump of trees and the curve of the white track there, see it? So keep turning, right stick, right foot. Fuel sufficient, fuel pump's on. I'm going to pop some flaps in now and trim you up one, and look what happens. It's a different power, attitude, trim combination. So that should be straight and level at 60 knots with one stage of flap, and look, it's just done. So we set a different power, attitude, trim combo. Done a lot of the work for us, hasn't it? The wind is a light southerly. We're all nicely in trim. We're going to turn left now. Left stick, left foot. There we go. Right. That's lovely. There's our runway. So if you straighten this up, right stick, right foot. Right stick, right foot to straighten up. Right stick, right foot, straighten up. I have control. Well done. Thank you very much. Yeah. So let's set up our powered approach. I'm going to put on the second stage of flat. That brings my speed back to 52 knots.
Branson is traffic, X-ray Romeo, backtrack 33 branch others. Yatesbury traffic, Golf Papa Hotel, final 28 Yatesbury.
So now, I've got the aircraft set up in a descent. The speed is done by the trim, you see? So I'm not chasing the speed. If I was a little bit too slow, I could drop the nose a bit. A little bit too fast, I could lift the nose a little bit. If I'm too high, I reduce the power. If that makes me too low, I put the power in. Now you see what the wind is doing? Now you can see how I'm having to hold the nose off to keep us from being drifted across the runway. So I'm using the rudder to keep us lined up with the runway. Airspeed's good. That's good. And look, I can leave the power in. Think, what, power in to land? Look, I can leave the power in. Even until the wheels go down. It just keeps it all nice and smooth and under control. So it's very tempting to get over the end of the runway and chuck the throttle on the ground, but actually we sort of flew it onto the grass a lot more smoothly with a little bit of power. Do, 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 do. So we're watching our wingtips because we're as wide as a combine harvester. The flaps go up as we clear the runway. Again, I'll stick it with its back to the sun, keep it nice and warm. Fuel pump's off, car peak can go off, and the transponder can go to standby. You got the checklist there? So what we did was, we've just done our clearing the runway checks. We need to do our shutdowns. So it says brakes on, check. Magneto check at 2,000 revs. So 2,000 revs, please. Just up a little bit. Just a little bit up to 2. Just a little bit up to 2. Just a little bit up to bang on 2. Come on, tiny bit. Much better, thank you. Mag 1, little drop and a rumble. Mag 2, little drop and a rumble. Okay, throttle now back to idle, so just gently bring it back to the seat. Bring your throttle back towards you. That's it. Radio and transponder are going off, so hold the on-off button for 1, 2, 3.